Dead Hard. Let's talk about it. So, I've been seeing a lot of tweets, a lot of forum posts of people complaining about people killing themselves on Hook or disconnecting very early in games. And I have 4,000 hours in DBD. 2,000 hours have been spent playing Survivor. 2,000 hours has been spent playing Killer. And ever since the Dead Hard change, I've noticed a huge increase in people disconnecting or killing themselves on Hook. And they usually get caught quick, like within the first 30 seconds of the game. And this didn't happen before, like with HiMMR and with Dead Hard still being in the game before the patch. This just didn't happen. A lot of the times what ended up happening in my games, in my HiMMR games where everybody was running Dead Hard, the killer would lose like 3 gens before the first down. And now survivors are killing themselves at this insane rate or disconnecting. The problem in there lies where there was like a 90% usage rate on Dead Hard, right? People are going on Twitter and complaining about, how Killer has been buffed, they're way OP, it's insane, I'm not escaping, blah blah blah. The changes to Killer, in my opinion, were balanced. Like, I didn't really see anything that stood out to me that looked insane or OP. Ruin got changed, or if like you kill somebody, it deactivates or something. So once you get down to 3 survivors, Ruin deactivates. So it's not like it won't stay up all game anymore. That's impossible. That's an impossibility now. Corrupt intervention. The first time you down somebody, corrupt intervention stops working. And not only that, but it just has the same timer it always has. So, if you look at it objectively, Killer, yeah, there was some, quality of life improvements like breaking pallets a little bit faster, wiping your blade a little bit faster. But those are the changes that have always sort of happened in Dead by Daylight anyways. Like back in the day, if you ever watched, old videos where you see like Trapper or Wraith try and vault, Couchery or something, those old videos of, killers vaulting, it was so slow. Or like old Hag setting her traps, or old Pig setting her traps or crouching. So slow. So if you notice over time, Dead by Daylight sort of just kind of does these things, like as gameplay improves and survivors get better or killers get better, they make changes accordingly. And by and large, survivors are insane. Like, they start out knowing mostly like how to loop, how to flashlight save, how to Dead Hard, how to, Unbreakable, how to borrow time save. They know all this stuff before they even boot up the game the first time because of like videos on YouTube or Twitch streams or what have you. A lot of people just are really smart, before they even start playing Dead by Daylight for the first time. So just thinking about that in general, you can see how, like, overall, the survivor skill has just exploded, and it's just it's insane. So Dead Hard being basically deleted was a change that should have happened a long time ago. Like when MMR was introduced, I think Dead Hard should have seen its last days. It's kind of like the boon thing where they took like 9 months, finally nerfed the boons into like a proper spot. So I really, really hope that just because everybody's freaking out, on the forums and on Twitter that the devs don't do something drastic. The problem, like I said, lies where the same people use Dead Hard in all of their games, now cannot use it, and they go down early in the game. They're the first to go down, and they instantly disconnect. And those are the people that are going on the forums, they're going on to Twitter and complaining about how OP killers are, how the changes only benefited killer and that only nerf survivor. That's just not true. Like I said, you can look at Ruin, you can look at Corrupt, you can look at Pop. All of those meta perks have been changed and nerfed. Dead Hard was used in 90% of games. It was a get out of jail free card. It was an issue. You could not look behind you or just not be very good at looping or have never looped before or never learned how to loop properly and use Dead Hard and get out of jail for free. You can see how that's like a problem when you multiply that by 4 people every game, a 90% usage rate, and killers just couldn't keep up. It just got out of hand. And I believe the devs when they say that the kill rates were lower than they wanted them to be. Because they walk a fine line on the killer, queues. If there's not enough killers queued up and killers are quitting or giving up or whatever, then survivors are going to have to wait this insane amount of time just to get a game. And I have noticed recently, since the Dead Hard change, that killer queues are longer. So that must mean that more people are playing killer. Whether it be just people now, who used to play killer are coming back to play the game again because Dead Hard got changed. Because this, make no mistake about it, the catalyst for all of this is Dead Hard. Everything I'm talking about, everything that I'm going to say in this video, it 100% orbits around Dead Hard. So the killers, killer queues are getting longer, I've noticed. Whether they're coming back or just people who have never played killer are now trying killer for the first time, because it's a lot less stressful because of Dead Hard. Either way, it's nothing but good. That's a good thing. I don't blame those people for quitting the game or just not wanting to ever play killer and only playing survivor because of how stressful it was at high MMR. It was very stressful and very frustrating at times because of how ridiculous that Dead Hard was. You could just press the button and get away. And so you look at that and like I said, you go on the forums, you look at the tweets, and there's an issue there. So what I'm proposing is that we just give it time. People who are freaking out, killing themselves on hook, going online and complaining, please just give it time. Look at your gameplay. Is there anything you can do better? Can you look at what you used to run and think that maybe that was holding you back? Maybe that was training wheels. And now that the training wheels are off, maybe now it's you can learn. You can learn how to do things without training wheels on. And that's a pretty cool thing, right? I mean, like, if you think about that for a second, now you don't have this thing anymore that you relied on heavily, and you don't have it anymore, and now you can learn how to do something like kind of anew, like a fresh, and it's a new challenge. And survivor and killer, it's always been a challenge, and those things have always, challenges have always been interested to me. The harder the game, the better for me. I like competition. I like things to be difficult. I thrive on that type of stuff. I really like it. It makes me feel good, accomplished. It gives me like a good rewarding feeling. And so I implore people that are having a tough time, think about that, and to think about your teammates, and to think about you're not the only one going through this right now. You know, all of your survivor friends that you know that use Dead Hard, they're going through it too. And so, you know, you shouldn't just give up on them in the game. You know, you shouldn't disconnect or kill yourself on Hook. You know, think about those people for a second, and think about the killer as well, and everybody in that game and how it's affecting them. You know, it's a tough game at 5 gens with an added 10 seconds per gen. You kill yourself at 5 gens, you know, just because you got caught quick. And like I said, it's the overwhelming majority are the people who used to run Dead Hard that I think are having this issue. So we're in an adjustment period right now, and let's just give it time to adjust. People, I think, have always been quick to criticize the devs, you know, and rip them apart and say that. And I think this patch has been great, and I am very, very happy with the patch. And I think everything they did, as a 4,000 hour experienced vet in Dead by Daylight, I am happy with what they've done. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm just looking at this as objectively as possible, as honest as possible, and just giving my opinion, because I think right now there's a lack of like people wanting to speak up because they're afraid of, like, you know, a mob mentality kind of like attacking them and telling them they're wrong, and like, no, like this should have never have happened, or blah 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 blah. But I also think that the majority of survivors agree with me. They actually agree that Dead Hard should have been killed, basically deleted, basically gone off the face of the earth. The way it is now, essentially. It should have been killed a long time ago, but I know that the majority of survivors agree with me. There's just a small vocal minority that are, you know, complaining and dying early in their games and blaming everyone else, blaming their teammates, and not looking at themselves and seeing what they can do to get better. You know, I took off Dead Hard well over a year ago because of how terrible it felt to be dead-hearted as a killer. And, you know, it made me a way better survivor. Way better. Way better. Like, I can't even explain how much better not using Dead Hard made me as survivor. And so, you know, I really am glad for the new killers that come in that don't have to deal with that perk anymore. I'm so happy for them. They get to experience this game in a way, way better, less stressful, much more fun, just way more healthy gameplay. They get to experience this game in the most pure form now, and I am so happy for those new players, those new killer players that come in and want to take a shot at playing against some of the best survivors in the world, and I'm so happy for that. And I just want to say that the devs did a great job, and I'm really happy with the patch. And yeah, I just wanted to get my opinion there, because like I said, I think a lot of people are afraid to offend people by saying what I'm saying, by people taking offense to those people who possibly feel attacked, you know, just because we're mentioning that they used to run this perk, and now that it's gone, you know, they're the ones crying, complaining, killing themselves on Hook, going online, complaining, and blaming everything else. You know, but they need to be offended. Those people need to be called out. You know, those people need to learn. You know, like, learning how to play the game and loot properly is not a bad thing. You know, you should look at that as a cool challenge to get better at the game. And I think that's what's going to happen soon. Just right now, we're in this, like, this weird place in time where, you know, have this issue where people are, you know, freaking out. But I really do believe that the changes they have made are balanced. for survivor and killer. And so if we could just get past this like little bump in the road, and people kind of take a look at themselves, just take a second look, and maybe don't make that forum post, maybe don't go on Twitter, and just kind of wait and kind of wait it out, and really see what you can do better to play better in the games. And I know that over time, you know, people look at that and be like, oh, that was so silly, you know, why did I think that way, or why did I have that thought, or things like that, you know, because you're gonna look back and you're gonna think, wow, I am so much better off without that perk, or I am so much better off now than I was before, and I am such a good survivor now, and I don't have to run that perk or any other perk to make myself, you know, good. And I really do believe that if the devs really want good, you know, MMR matchmaking or skill-based matchmaking to be accurate or anything like that, that they really need to make changes like this much more often. You know, shaking up the meta every 3 months. You know, it wouldn't have to be necessarily as big as this, but definitely shaking up the meta every time a new killer comes out, prevent, you know, bad players from being where they shouldn't be and having this huge overinflated ego, or, you know, what have you, you know, thinking that they're the best around. You know, it should come down to gameplay. How good are you at the game? It shouldn't revolve around perks, you know, and carrying you to a high MMR or what have you. You know, it should come down to, I know how to loop, or I know how to play killer, and that's why I'm here, and not because of what perks I run. And I think for a very long time, you know, that's what it was, and I think that should have happened when skill-based matchmaking came into play, so that way skill was at the forefront and not perks carrying, you know, bad players, whatever, you know, however high MMR that they got. But yeah, guys, as I said, this video revolves solely around the change of Dead Hard. I 100% agree that this issue of people disconnecting and killing themselves on Hook are because of that. I really do believe that the Survivor gameplay has suffered because of that, but it will sort itself out. People will get better. I assure you that survivors will be back, okay? I have no doubt in my mind that survivors will be back, and they will be better than ever. They will be stronger than ever. Mark my words. And this Dead Hard change will not affect them. They will be back. They will make their comeback story. And you know, we're all going to be better for it. The game will be much healthier. Everybody will be much less stressed, much less frustrated. They will actually look at things and see them objectively and skillfully, instead of just a perk got me here, and not necessarily, you know, skill or anything like that. And so, you know, I'm glad that the devs have made these changes, and I'm going to stop ranting now. I really do think it needed to be said, and I don't think enough people are saying it. I really hope that changes, because at the risk of offending, you know, if you don't speak up at the risk of offending someone, you'll never say anything. You know, like we have the, you know, as streamers, as content creators, we have these platforms to speak up and speak out and give our voice. That's what our audiences want. They want to hear our opinions. And my opinion is that Dead Hard needed this change. It needs to be gone. I really wish they would have changed the perk name, honestly. I wish they would have changed the perk name to something different. I wish the animation was gone, like no animation to dab forward. I wish that animation was gone. They need to just get rid of that as well. They need to get rid of the name. And then the 0.5 seconds of endurance, I guess that's fine. I tried it. It's really hard. Like, I guess you could get good at it, I guess, if you really wanted to try. I'm not saying it's impossible, because anything's possible. But in my opinion, Dead Hard is dead. And the game is better. It's healthier for it. Anyways, guys, that's my 20-minute rant video on Dead Hard. I hope that this video reaches a lot of people, and that I really I can't express how much I believe that Dead Hard had so much influence over this game that we're seeing this crazy like just backlash or whatever this is right now. It's like a huge smack in the face or a huge realization, like someone splashing water on you after you just got out of like REM sleep or something, like when you've been just dozed out, just knocked out, and then you wake up and you get water splashed in your face. It's just it's a huge wake up call to the community. And and I think, like I said, it's not for the bad, it's for the good. It's for the good. It's for the health of the game. It's for the future of the game. It's for future players of the game. It's for people who want to come in and play this game that's never played it before, and then they get dead-hearted and they're like, "What the F was that? That's BS. I'm never playing this game again." It's for that. That is good. That is good. You cannot look at that and say that there's anything good about that perk or anything good that you know what I'm saying? Like you can't. I'm convinced. 4,000 hours in this game, 2,000 hours Survivor, 2,000 hours Killer, and I'm just convinced that you cannot tell me that perk should still be in this game. No, there's just no way. I refuse. Anyways, guys, like I said, I really hope that this video makes it out and really brings to life just how much of a problem that perk really was in this game. It was just like Old Ruin. It's having that same effect where we're in this weird space and time where people are adjusting. And let's just give it time. Let's not freak out. Let's give the devs credit where credit is due. They deserve it. They get criticism. They get ripped apart when they make a bad decision. They've made this patch was a very good decision. They've done very good things, and so let's give them credit where credit is due. And anyways, guys, I'll stop rambling. Please like this video. Anything like that would be greatly appreciated, because I do think that this is a very important message, and I think a lot of people need to hear it. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Good one.